Right on, right on, right on. It's another day here in the Philippines, and today I'm going to talk about something that I think everybody should know. After 18 years of being in and out of the Philippines, I'm going to show you some of the traffic situation here. Look at these cat heads. Everywhere, just pull right in front of you. They will cut you off. So you got to ask yourself, do you feel lucky? So here's the trick here. You got to decide whether you want a car or a motorcycle. Preferably, I would prefer both. If you're coming here, if you've ever rode a motorcycle before, that's cool. You know, maybe your skills will come back, but I tell you what, your reflexes better be dead on. When I ride, I got a motorbike with the brakes on both handlebars. So I got my front and my back. And when I ride, look at this cat head here. Just pulls right out in front of me. He will not get in his lane. Get over, man. So here we go. I ride with both hands on those brakes at all times. My fingertips are always on them because you will have to stop on a dime a million times, so you better be ready. Motorcycles are good because you can whip in and out of traffic. You can get anywhere. You can pass people a lot easier, but for these you older guys or whatever, I would not recommend it unless you have been on one in a while. If you do here, I'd recommend going out a little bit further than the city than just trying to jump on this thing here. If you do ride early in the morning, you know, I'm talking like 5:30, 6:30. Anything around 7 o'clock, you're gonna hit school traffic. And school traffic is murder here, you know. People, look here, these guys here cutting, look at this guy. He's gonna run him over because he can't wait 2 seconds probably to go park right there in front of him. Look at these guys here, man. All in your lane. There is no white line. That white line is simply for leftover Christmas decoration or something. I have no idea because nobody pays attention to it. Look at this guy. Same thing on this side of the road over here. That line means nothing. Generally, when it's a white line, they ride the center of the road. So you may as well expect that. Here, you better be a defensive driver. So a motorcycle, like I say, is good. You can park it anywhere if you're in the city. If you're really good, you can slingshot back and forth from lane to lane. If you learn how to ride like a Filipino, which basically is you ride like you have no brakes, you're on autopilot, and the whole road is one road for everybody. It is no your side and my side. So this is something you need to consider. Also, with a car or with a truck, you are usually the man, okay? You're the guys that these guys will get out of the way for, but you better believe they will still cut in front of you. You know, they will still try and run you off the road, but remember, you're bigger, okay? So that's one thing you got to consider here. They will generally move out of the way. So as long as you're just cruising along like I am here today, like this guy here is getting ready to pull out in front of me, cruising along today, you're bigger, so they do generally stop. But today, I mean, if you want to get your car and just go straight, you know, stay straight in the road. You want to go slow, that's fine. Everybody will pass you. It'll be a sea of motorcycles around you when you stop wherever you are, so it doesn't matter, you know, because you're in your car. You have your air conditioning. When it rains during the rainy season, you got your car, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, for you guys out there dating and stuff like that, man, it ain't nothing like having your little homegirl right beside you in a nice dry car with the air conditioning and a nice stereo going. And you can get these cars here used really cheap. The one that I have, the Kia Rio, is a 2016. It didn't have but I think it was 40,000 kilometers, which comes out to like, I think roughly, you know, 30,000 miles on it. Runs good, great on gas, easy to get in and out of traffic or whatever. Like I say, I paid about $6,000 for it, you know. So you'll pay about $2,000 for a good motorcycle. If you get a good motorcycle here, get something that's at least a 125 horsepower and above. I have a 150. It will fly. I can zip, I can speed, I can get. It's better to have the power and not need it than need it and not have it, because speed is also everything here. Look at this guy. Boom. That's what I'm talking about here. This drives me nuts half the time here is the traffic, you know, because I've never seen a level of things going on here. My truck, it is as you know, a 4-wheel drive. It will go anywhere and it will fly. I mean, when I punch it, if I got to get around a bus, if I got to get around somebody else or whatever, I have the power to do it. So get something like that. Get your car with some power or whatever. But motorcycles, I see a lot of foreigners over here that, you know, look like they're in their 70s and 80s, and they look like they are terrified when they get on that motorcycle going down the road. So don't get over here and get in an accident. You know, this is from years of experience. I've had 2 accidents here. It ain't a question of if you have it, it is when you have it, because you will eventually have an accident. My father taught me when I was growing up or whatever, he used to get on my ass when I was driving about putting both feet on, one on the gas and one on the brake. He said, shift your right foot over to the brake. But here, I broke the damn rules. I keep both feet on both pedals at all times, because that split second here is what will save you and whoever you're with and your vehicle. So I ride double tapping here all the time, man. So yeah, this is kind of giving you a little bit of preview of that. See, hear that? Man, I just punch it. This thing will fly. It's a turbo. And when they hear it, man, it sounds like a jet going down the road. So yeah, I want everybody to know. I want everybody to see, you know, they're good and bad in the Philippines. This is the worst part of the Philippines, is the traffic. And I call it organized chaos, because I don't know why there ain't 100 wrecks here, accidents every single day. So you have to get in the groove. You know, try and calm down, take 3 deep breaths, try all that horse shit 90% of the time. It does not work, you know, for the G-Man. So I just kind of, you know, you kind of get into a flow here, you know, to where you expect it. This is the way it's going to be. You know, you're going to be standing in line. You're going to be waiting in line. You'll have the police here, man, pull out in front of you. You'll have ambulances that will just run you off the road completely. I mean, this is without any emergency lights or anything, you know. So, but the biggest thing, like I say, is when it's a 4-lane, they will get right there on that middle lane. You know, it's crazy. Look at this guy. Here we go, right here. Perfect example. Now look at this guy. See? He will ride that white line. He will not get over to save his life. So I lay down on that horn, boy, and punch it. Yeehaw! That's how you do it, man. Ain't nothing to it to do it, but said Jimmy Pruitt. So yeah, I mean, you have to learn how to be. You have to drive like a Filipino does here, you know, which is usually just getting after it, you know, getting after it, man. So this is one of today's vlog, you know, is one of those ones that I think it's a need to know deal. I'll be hopping and popping, you know, hanging and swinging. Now that we're getting out of town a little, it gets a little bit cooler out here. But like I say, if you ride at night, you know, the biggest drawback here is the dogs and the people with no motors and stuff. But if you can get out on a big 4-lane, like this one here that goes to Darwin, it's cool because there's not traffic and you have plenty of room to watch for other bikes and dogs and stuff like that. Another thing, my boat, as everybody saw, had sunk. So we pulled the Honda motor out and took it up because it was submerged in water for over 12 hours. And water was in the gas and the motor and the engine and everything. So I took it back to Omega. It's the best place here. They work on everything in Dumaguete. They work on motors, they work on small engines, they work on anything that's motor related, you know, small engine repair stuff. I just took my weed eater up there, so they're redoing that. First thing I pulled up, the guy's like, hey man, hold on a second. So he goes in and checks it or whatever. He's like, dude, it's your spark plug, that's all it is. You know, he told me, he said, I can keep it and maybe clean your carburetor up a little bit. And I'm like, well, go ahead and do that, man. You know, and he wasn't gonna charge me nothing. You know, I've been to my car dealership here, Nissan or whatever. I'll go in there and they'll change a light bulb or something. And I'm like, what's the charge? They're like, oh, don't worry about it. Where do you hear that anymore? You know, so yes, I'm back to my positive side of the Philippines. You know, it is a lot of stuff here that is actually great, you know, that I love, that is positive. So, you know, you got to take the good with the bad, man. You know, hanging and swinging and let it keep danging is all I can say. Here's some construction going on here today. Trying to give as much information I can as my channel. Thank you guys so much for all the comments. I was winging it yesterday on the guitar, and I got a lot of positive comments about that. That was just a brief onslaught of what's coming up or whatever. I got some Les Pauls I'm gonna put in there, and I'm gonna try and give you guys as much information as I can. If you need advice about anything, I will lay it on you. You know, I know a lot of people here. You know, I got a lot of low friends in high places and high friends in low places. So, you know, it's kind of whatever you need. I'm gonna do a flip around. Boom, the G-Man's back, man. Yep, I'm hanging and swinging today. I was gonna do a little weed eating up on one of my properties, but that's canceled. So it looks like I'll be probably out doing something else. I may go get some lunch. I may go by the sea. They said something about doing diving today. It was raining this morning, but my father always said when it's raining and you're at the beach or the lake, jump in the water so you won't get wet. So yeah, that's exactly what I may be doing today. That's the one thing about the Philippines. You absolutely do not know what is going to happen on any given day, any given moment, because things change, woo, in a heartbeat. I love this truck, man. I feel like the redneck boy from South Carolina. Today it was pouring down rain. The streets were flooded here. Only thing I could think about was taking the four-wheel drive up in the mountain and doing a little bulldogging in the mud. See what this baby here can get down and get stuck and then getting out. You know, that was always a lot of fun riding the dirt roads in South Carolina, man. We'd get so dadgum stuck in the mud. You know, we'd be out there drinking beer, and we had the best old time growing up, man, because you learn how to survive. You learn how to do it. You know, you learn how to get out of situations, you know, and that's better be what you learn here as well, you know, because it's a lot of them, man. Don't think it's all, you know, roses and chocolate, because it ain't. You know, it ain't that way nowhere. You know, survival is one of my main things in life, you know, that I've always prepared for. Yeah, here, man, like I say, have everything in place. You know, if you get you a nice setup here, get your rent and all that stuff covered, and get the lay of the land, you know, you may love it, you may hate it, you know, but most of the people that I know that come here, they actually love it, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna knock this video off here because my arm's getting damn tired trying to drive and hold this camera at the same time. I gotta get some more equipment. I'm a king. Come on now. I'll take you to Memphis. I'll buy you a Cadillac because I'm the king.